Those who will click on this video, I can confidently say that you all want to manifest some desires. That's why you've clicked on this video, hoping it will help you manifest your desires. Well, it will truly help you manifest. However, just watching this video will not be enough. What will truly help you in manifesting your desires is understanding that your desires come from your inner self or inner God, because Neville Goddard says that you are the source of everything. This means that if you want to manifest your desires, you'll have to connect with your inner self. So how can you connect with your inner God? This is what we'll learn in this video. But before we begin, I'd like to ask our new viewers to support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Your support really helps. Now let's dive into the topic. When we really want something, like success in a certain job, more money, or a relationship with a specific person, we naturally start asking questions. Who will help us achieve it? What should we do? When will it happen? How can we make it come true? These questions pop up because our regular thoughts are curious about the whole process. However, there's a part of us, our higher self, that knows everything that's happening is connected to making our desire real. But our human mind, the part that thinks about everyday things, often wants to question the whole thing, especially when it looks at the world around us and doesn't see it happening the way we'd like. Most of us grew up learning that we shouldn't go after what we really want. Some teachings, like in religion or spirituality, told us that we should accept how life is, even if it makes us sad or hurt. The idea is that we'll learn and grow from those tough experiences. Now the cool part is, in the manifesting community, the idea is different. When we discover Neville Goddard's teachings, they tell us that we actually can have and be whatever we want. No matter what's happened in the past or what's happening right now, we're taught that we can still manifest our desires. But the thing is, sometimes it's hard to believe these new ideas because our past experiences seem to say the opposite. It's like we might feel like we're fooling ourselves, or that it sounds too good to be true. Instead of trusting that everything we desire is already on its way to us, it's often easier to believe that we have to work super hard for it. It's like we're more comfortable believing the facts as they are, and it feels safer to think we have to struggle for what we want instead of knowing deep down that we already have it. This is where building faith in ourselves, understanding that we're like God in a way, and getting why we want what we want becomes important. Why should we understand why we want what we want? Well, imagine your desires are like seeds in a garden. These seeds grow into what you want. But here's the thing. If you don't really know why you want what you want, it's like planting seeds without knowing what kind of plants they'll turn into. You might end up with things you don't really like, and that's no fun. So getting why you want something is like knowing what kind of plants you want to grow. This way, when you plant those seeds with your thoughts, they'll turn into exactly what you want. Now let's understand why you have to have faith in yourself. Think of it as knowing deep inside that you have the power to make things happen. It's like trusting your inner self, that part of you that's connected to everything and knows way more than your regular thoughts. When you have faith in yourself, it's easier to believe that you don't have to struggle and work so hard for what you want. You can just trust that everything's coming together, even if it doesn't look like it right now. You have to understand that your desires are a gift from the divine within you. Think of them like messages from the deepest part of your being, the part that's connected to something greater than ourselves. Imagine each desire as a prediction of what you're capable of becoming. Don't waste time wondering if you deserve these desires or not. Instead, when they show up, accept them with open arms. Treat them like precious presents that have just been handed to you. Feel genuine joy and thankfulness for having these incredible gifts in your life. Then, carry on your journey with a sense of calm and contentment. It's important to understand that your desires originate from the divine energy within you. Thus, anything you observe in the physical world, like a lack of proof that your desires are on their way, has no power over whether you can achieve them or not. The process of deciding what you want to experience and then letting those desires take shape in the real world rests entirely with you. However, it's not always easy to hold on to this truth, especially when it comes to manifesting a particular person. For instance, if someone you care about is not currently in your life, old memories might resurface, clouding your thoughts. Yet, if you can internalize the idea that your desires are like messages from the divine source, and that you are fundamentally connected to everyone and everything, it becomes easier to rise above doubts about your worthiness or the rightness of your choices. Now, what's more important is that you need to understand that your desires aren't just for your benefit. They are beneficial for others as well. Whether it's your longing for a loving relationship with a specific person or your dream of pursuing a fulfilling career, trust that these desires are for the greater good of everyone involved. You wouldn't be given a desire if you didn't already have the potential to bring it to life. Moreover, these desires wouldn't exist if they didn't have positive effects on all those connected to them. This understanding reflects a core belief that everything is in divine order and has purpose. It's easy to get caught up in the material world, where doubts and obstacles can easily cloud our minds. However, Neville's wisdom encourages us to tap into our inner source of power, which is rooted in the divine within us. When we accept our desires as gifts from this divine source, we align ourselves with a higher purpose. This perspective helps us transcend the tendency to question our worthiness or second-guess our actions. Now let's delve into what having faith in our desires and persisting truly means. Given that we understand our desires come from a divine source, you might wonder why faith and persistence are necessary. The words faith and persistence might make it sound like we have to put in a lot of effort to make our desires come true. However, the reality is quite the opposite. Having faith in our desires and persisting doesn't involve hard labor. It's more about embracing life as it is right now and recognizing that we're already the person we want to become. But what exactly does this mean? Well, it doesn't mean we should ignore difficult feelings or pretend they don't exist. Instead, it means allowing ourselves to experience those tough emotions while knowing that every thought and feeling we have is guiding us toward our desired reality. Even when things seem tough or contradictory, we can understand that these emotions are part of the journey. For me, this is what persistence and having faith in my desires is all about. When I let myself feel my emotions and keep in mind who I truly am, those negative thoughts and feelings eventually lose their grip on me. As a result, faith and persistence come more naturally, like a gentle breeze. Think of it like this: when you're on a road trip, you might come across bumps, detours, or even traffic jams. Those are like the tough emotions or challenging situations you encounter on your journey towards your desires. Now imagine you have a GPS that knows the best route and guides you through those obstacles. That's similar to the faith and persistence you have within you. Even when the journey gets tough, your inner knowing and faith act as your reliable navigation system, helping you get back on track and keeping you focused on your destination. Having faith in your desires doesn't mean faking a smile when you're sad or ignoring what you're feeling. It's about embracing both the good and the challenging moments, understanding that they're all part of your unique path. As you acknowledge your emotions and remind yourself of who you are, the negative thoughts gradually lose their power. Faith doesn't need to be a heavy burden. It can be a light that guides you even in the darkest moments. Persistence doesn't mean pushing against the tide or fighting with your thoughts and feelings. It's about gently steering yourself back on course when you veer off track. Imagine you're sailing. Sometimes the wind might change and you need to adjust your sails. Similarly, when challenging thoughts or emotions arise, you gently steer yourself back to your true desires and the faith you hold in them. It's a soft and compassionate way of guiding yourself toward what you want. One of the reasons many of us join the conscious manifesting community is because we want to manifest our desires, perhaps a specific person or money. It's perfectly all right to desire such things. However, there's a tendency to become so fixated on manifesting our wishes that we might overlook the real essence of this spiritual journey. Connecting with our inner selves, our inner God, our I Am. At the start of my own spiritual journey, I used to search for answers in the physical world. That was familiar to me. I'd consume heaps of information, seeking validation for my desires from external sources. I'd search for solutions to my questions on platforms like social media and YouTube. But it was only when I started to connect with my higher self that I truly began to find answers. Strangely enough, these answers didn't come from the outside world. They emerged from within me. The more we tap into our inner awareness, which is essentially our consciousness, the less we feel the need to seek answers or advice externally. My hope is that everyone watching this takes a few minutes out of their day to connect with their inner God. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, this simple practice can make a huge difference. After connecting in this way, you'll start noticing the answers and signs you've been looking for. This is when having faith in your true self and persisting in your desires feels like a breeze. Let's think of it this way. Imagine your inner connection, your higher self, as a wise friend who always knows what's best for you. When you spend time with this friend, you naturally gain insight and clarity. As you connect with your higher self, the guidance and wisdom you seek begins to flow effortlessly from within you. In this modern age, we're used to seeking solutions outside of ourselves. We ask friends, consult books, or browse the internet for answers. But as we venture into the world of manifesting and spirituality, we realize that the most valuable answers often come from within. Our inner guidance system, often referred to as our higher self or inner God, holds a treasure trove of wisdom and insight. Imagine this inner connection as a secret garden within you. By spending time in this garden regularly, you tend to the soil of your soul. You water it with presence and contemplation. And over time, this garden blooms with clarity, inspiration, and profound understanding. The more you nurture this connection, the less you rely on external validation or sources for answers. As you connect with your inner self, you tap into a reservoir of wisdom that exists beyond the noise of the outside world. This wisdom isn't theoretical or abstract, it's practical and applicable to your unique journey. You begin to receive insights that feel like puzzle pieces falling into place, revealing a clearer picture of your desires and how to manifest them. Incorporating this practice into your daily routine can be transformative. Even dedicating a short period each day, just 10 minutes, to connect with your inner self can yield profound results. As you establish this habit, you'll find that the guidance you seek becomes more accessible. The doubts that once clouded your vision start to fade, and a sense of knowing takes their place. This inner knowing becomes the foundation of your faith. I hope I delivered a good analysis of this theory about inner self by Neville Goddard, as he was a great teacher and inspired millions of people around the world. If you want to share your opinion, comment down below this video. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to it and press the bell icon for more interesting, informative, and helpful videos on manifestation. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.